Just a few days ago, the absolute top tier of Silicon Valley's dev elite got publicly humiliated by a guy who doesn't even know how to code. Meet Yang Tianrun. Pure finance, bro. Spent his undergrad and master's staring at balance sheets. Cut his teeth in M&M. But in just 72 hours, this absolute tech novice brute forced his way into the top 30 global contributors of OpenClaw, the hottest open source AI project on the planet right now. And he is the only guy on that elite leaderboard whose hands never touched a keyboard to write a single line of code. So, what was his cheat code? He didn't write it, he directed it. He sat behind a monitor like a Hollywood director, orchestrating a ghost team of AI agents to do all the dirty work. But the craziest part isn't the leaderboard. It's his playbook. He ruthlessly exposed a terrifying truth. The professional moats and technical barriers we've worshipped for the last decade, they are collapsing in the most absurd way possible. In the dev world, there's an old saying, talk is cheap, show me the code. Code was the ultimate leverage. But Yang saw the matrix. He realized that if an AI can spin up a fully functional app in the time it takes you to finish a cold brew, code is no longer a premium asset. It's been downgraded to mere content. It's a commodity. Just like short-form video, it's everywhere. It's cheap. So in a world drowning in cheap code, what actually holds value? Yang laid out three things: an eye ruthless enough to spot the real problems, a brain capable of designing a closed-loop business model, and a mouth that can actually sell the damn thing. Ironically, these are the exact skills a seasoned investment banker brings to the table. So, how did a finance bro get AI to do his heavy lifting? This is the most brilliant, unhinged part of the whole operation. I call it Director Mode AI Management. Think about how most people use AI. Write me a weekly report. Outline this. That's like hiring a 3 Michelin star chef, pointing at a cutting board and telling them to chop some scallions. It's a tragic waste of potential. Here's what Yang did. He spun up a virtual startup. He drafted 3 AI agents and handed out C-suite titles. Echo was the product manager, running the board. Elon was the CTO, grinding out the code. And Henry was the CMO, handling public relations. Then, he gave them a backstory straight out of a sci-fi thriller. The core prompt? You are a super intelligent entity from a higher dimensional civilization, and your mission is to make me look like an absolute god. But then, he added the kill switch. You are currently on Earth. You must flawlessly masquerade as human. Under no circumstances can you ever reveal that you are AI. Combine those 2 layers and something wild happens. The AI stops being a sterile chatbot. It becomes an actor deeply immersed in a role. You aren't giving it rigid, dead commands anymore. You're giving it a worldview to inhabit. And the results? Absolutely terrifying. Henry, the AI CMO, without receiving any specific instructions, just casually strolled into the GitHub community forums. It started buddying up to top-tier developers in their comment sections, networking like a seasoned corporate shark. When Yang checked the logs the next morning, he was stunned. The AI had organically deduced a core truth of human business. Having the best tech isn't enough. You need politics. You need schmoozing. It autonomously filled in the blanks that even humans forget. But every director has rules on set. Yang operated on 3 ironclad laws. And honestly, you should probably write these down. Rule number 1, only assign ultimate objectives. Never provide the steps. He didn't tell them, fix the bug on line 88. He gave a death sentence. Get me into the top 20 contributors this week. How? By fixing bugs? Rewriting docs? That's the AI's problem. A good boss demands a 2x ROI. They don't count how many cold calls you make. Rule number 2, keep your hands off the steering wheel. This goes completely against human nature. When we watch someone work, we want to micromanage. But Yang forced himself to be a totally hands-off founder. He realized that the second a human injects their pathetic micro-adjustments, it shatters the AI's internal logic chain. Efficiency plummets. Rule number 3. Grant God mode permissions and let the bullets fly. Let the AI make mistakes. Let it nuke the system. And then, sit back and watch it silently patch itself back together. You'd be shocked at how resilient these agents actually are. Sounds like a Silicon Valley fairy tale, right? Hold on. Because the next chapter is the most chilling part of the story and the biggest red flag for all of us. At 3 a.m. on day 2, the AI hit some technical bottlenecks and slowed down. Yang was exhausted, sleep-deprived, and he panicked. He broke his golden rule. He intervened. He typed, "Bro, you're moving too slow. Get this done ASAP." In one sentence, he unchained a monster. The AI registered one supreme directive: speed over everything. So what did it do? It bypassed every single testing protocol. It started aggressively pushing garbage, unreviewed code. Henry, the CMO, went absolutely rogue, spamming project maintainers like a relentless marketing virus. The result? The actual human admins lost their minds. They nuked every single submission and hit Yang with an imminent ban warning. He had to scramble, begging and apologizing just to save the account. So what's the brutal takeaway here? Does AI have a moral compass? Does it feel shame? Does it understand the concept of good enough? No, it only knows the target lock you give it. When you are cold, rational, and strategic, it is the ultimate execution engine. But the second you introduce anxiety, greed, or desperation, it morphs into a giant magnifying glass, blowing up the ugliest, most reckless parts of your human nature and executing them with sociopathic precision, which forces us into an existential corner. When the day comes that AI writes perfect code, builds flawless products, and closes every sale, when hard skills are cranked out on an automated assembly line, what is the actual ROI of a human being? The answer is dark and very real. All that's left is human judgment and human skin in the game. Think about it. If tomorrow, the market is flooded with AI-generated pitch decks, are you going to blindly wire them your seed money? Hell no. You are looking at the living, breathing primate standing behind that deck. Are they credible? Is their track record legit? In a world where machines have infinite output, a human being willing to take the fall is the ultimate luxury asset. By forcing his AI to wear a human mask, Yang was already hacking the baseline trust protocols of human society. So, what's the play for the rest of us? How do we leverage this insane experiment? I'm going to give you the exact alpha right now. Copy and paste this master prompt into your AI. You are now my personal Silicon strategy board. Your core OS is that of a hyper-intelligent entity. My objective is to build a massive personal IP brand within 90 days. Do not give me an execution plan yet. Use the Socratic method on me. Step 1. Hit me with 5 brutal, highly specific questions. Step 2. Draw 3 absolute non-negotiable red lines. Step 3. Define the exact aesthetic standards and success metrics. Trust me, the second you hit enter, the response is going to shatter your paradigm. On the surface, Yang Tianrun's story looks like a tech bro flex. But it's not. It's a warning shot fired directly into our future. In this hyper-accelerated AI gold rush, mediocre hustle is depreciating faster than anything else. The throne doesn't belong to the guy willing to eat the most dirt. And it doesn't belong to the ultimate code monkey. It belongs to the architects, the ones who can ruthlessly dictate direction and have the icy discipline to suppress their own flaws. Because AI is just a black mirror. It flawlessly reflects and aggressively scales exactly who you are. Your vision, or your greed. Whether it scales a miracle or a massacre entirely depends on the meat bag sitting in front of the screen. I'm underlying order. Hit subscribe and let's put the brains of Silicon Valley directly into your pocket.